Welcome to the class of neural networks. This is the second unit of the neural networks, in which we will be studying about the activation and synaptic dynamic models of the neural networks. Before moving towards the particular activation and synaptic models, what are these models actually? If you remember, in the first and second class I have discussed you about the structure of the neuron or the structure of the neural network, which consists of the inputs, the synaptic weights, the summing unit, the activation unit or the activation value, then you get your output. So every part in that block diagram is precisely elaborated, and every part has various models and various functionalities, that is elaboration of the subject, and this is the one particular elaboration which is related to the synaptic models and activation models. No doubtly you know that the synaptic is related to the synaptic weights, which are much important for the information processing, and the activation model is also very important as it gives the required output. So this is the introduction of the active and synaptic dynamics, which you can go through for understanding the active and synaptic models. So we'll directly go toward the activation dynamics models. So what are the issues in the development of the activation dynamics models? So this models is described by the first derivative of the activation value of a neuron. For the last neuron, it is expressed as the differentiating value of the input and is represented as h of function dot, where h of I is a function of the activation state and synaptic weights of the network. So this is the diagram of the typical processing unit I with associated parameters, that is nothing but the blocks of the neural network. So this is all the literature which you can go through for the issues in the development of activation dynamic models. The output functions with three different bias values. Now this is all the literature which has been required and there for the understanding of the activation and synaptic models, so which I have already briefly elaborated to you. So why I am focusing fastly on this topic is this literature is that because it is already explained to you and understood to you, so you can go through literature and much more get refined to it, and more focusing important required on this in this lecture is the three models, that are the additive model, shunting model and stochastic models of the activation function models, that are called as the activation models. So first we'll go towards the additive activation models. So the activation of the input x of I of the last neuron can be interpreted as a cell membrane potential, and it is a function of time, that is x of I is equals to x of I of t. The activation models are described by an expression for the first derivative of the activation value of a neuron. Thus x of it gives the rate of change of activation value of the ith neuron of a neural network. So here the first value and the last value are important. So in the simplest way we can express this as x of it is equals to minus a of I x of I of t, where a of I is greater than 0 is a constant for the membrane and can be interpreted as the passive decay rate. The solution of the equation is given by this. Now when you come to the electrical circuitry analogy, A of I can be interpreted as a membrane conductance, which is the inverse of the membrane resistance Ri. Now here the meaning of the membrane is that, as you know, we are using that biomedical term neuron also, so here also we are using the term membrane, means we are moving from one to another, so there is a contact or that medium which passes, so we are also using the term membrane. Okay, So here you have the various mathematicals that are been associated to this model, that is your additive model. Yeah, so what are you achieving from this in a mathematical point of view? The first is the general form, second is the passive decay term, or the passive decay equation, non-zero resisting potential with external input, additive auto-associative model, Perkins model, hetero-associative model, bidirectional associative memory. Now coming to the second model, that is the shunting activation models. Grossberg has proposed this model as the shunting activation model for the restriction of range of activation values to a specified operating range irrespective of the dynamic range. So here first we'll consider the saturation model, where the activation value is bounded to an upper limit. For an excitatory external input II, the shunting activation model is given by this, and with respect to the infinity we are getting this. So an on-center and off-surround configuration for shunting activation model is illustrated here. Here where you have your processing units, and here you have your input intensities. And here the assumption is that a hard limiting threshold function for an output function, that is f of x is equal to 0 for x less than or equal to 0, and f of x is equals to 1 for x greater than 0. This is the mathematics associated to it. So we'll go to the summarization. So here we'll see the summarization, where what is the goal? To give the operating range of the activation value to a specified range. The general form is given, saturation model is given, that is the saturating model equation is given, and on-center off-surround configuration is given, setting noise limit is given, with excitatory feedback from the same unit and inhibitory feedback from other units. So we'll go towards the last model of today's class, that is the stochastic models. The activation model considered so far are deterministic models, means we are able to determine from them. In practice, the input-output patterns and the activation models may be considered as sample functions of random processes. The output signal of each processing unit may be random function of the input of the unit's activation value. In such cases, the network activation state and output signal state can be viewed as vector stochastic processes. Each unit in turn behaves as a scalar stochastic process. So these stochastic activation models are represented in a simplified fashion by adding an additional noise component to the right side of the expression x of it, that is the input, for each of the deterministic activation models. So here what we are doing, we are adding noise to the right side of the expression x of I of t for each of the deterministic activation model, that is the earlier one, that is the additive and the shunting model. The probability distribution of the noise component is assumed for analyzing the vector stochastic process of the activation states. In particular, in stochastic equilibrium, the activation state vector hovers in a random fashion about a fixed equilibrium state representing the average. Okay, if you have any doubts, feel free to comment. Thank you.